Hey everyone, getting set up here. Hi Amber, first one here, huh? That's pretty good. Takes me a minute to get started sometimes, but I have fun once I get going there. I'm trying to get this straight. All right. Can you hear me okay, Amber? I'm using a mic today. Last time I had some issues with the audio. So hopefully you can hear me. Hey Janet. Yay, you made it to a live. Hello, Eiley62 and Nancy, Allie. Oh, nice, from Australia. Trying to get my iPad so I can see it better, but I guess it's going to stay where it is if I quit turning it off. There we go. Get it back going again. How's everybody today? Hope you're doing well. I'm having a good Saturday. I know, Janet, right? You're not on a train today. I hope you guys have your favorite beverage with you. Of course, I have my coffee, my afternoon cuppa. So we are going to do a little bit more collage paper play today. I realized the other day that, I was, the last time I streamed, I was using a lot of permanent markers and colors and things because when I collage something down and glue over the top of it, I don't want it to run, right? So I don't think I even mentioned Sharpie markers the last time, and of course they are permanent and they're very accessible and affordable. So I wanted to do a little bit of playing with those today. I have this set that I've had for a while now. These are chisel nib Sharpies. So they have a nice broad nib, and they work perfectly. I mean, I sat down and did this a little while ago. I just made some little, just making little marks on tissue paper. I'm doing tissue paper because, when you wet it and glue it down, it disappears, and so you're left with just the marks as if you made the marks actually on your page. So, all right, who am I missing here? Let me check the chat real quick. Hey, Robin. Let me go back a little bit, too, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yes, you were the first one, or the next one that I hadn't spoken to. Thank you for being here. Oh, good. I'm so glad you can hear me well. Thank you, Nancy. Barbara, hello. And let's see, Katrina from New Zealand. Wow. That's amazing. Aren't we just so blessed, you guys, to have this technology that we can, visit each other all the way across the world? I just love it. Okay, and Mary P. Hi, New Hampshire. Okay, wonderful. All right. Oh, amazing. Okay, thank you all for joining me today. Let's play with some more collage paper. I wanted to show you too that when I was creating these, and I also created, like some lines. For this one I used, the regular size Sharpie, the one that's a fine point. And, just drew some little wiggly wobbly, what Janet says, wibbly wobbly, something like that, wibbly wobbly lines, just because they're so fun. So of course, because it's tissue paper, it goes right through. So you do have to have something underneath it. So I was using a piece of some white paper. This is just like children's drawing paper. You get it on a roll. I forget what the actual name of it, what it's called, but it's like craft paper, only it's white. Okay. And last time I had a big desk blotter on my table here, and somebody had asked me what was that white paper I was using. And I looked it up on Amazon. I don't even remember where I bought mine. It was probably, I mean, it could have been anywhere, but I don't think it was Amazon. I couldn't find it in my orders. But the ones that they had available were just way too expensive. I mean, $20 for, you know, the desk pad that has, I don't know, 50 sheets or something like that in it. And so I continued to look, and I ordered this roll of this paper that I just showed you. It's on a roll, and it's longer than 18 inches. Let's see. Let's see. It's just a little shorter, sorry. A little, about ½ inch shorter than 18. So it's 17.5 inches long by several yards. I don't remember. Whoops, I don't remember what the yardage was, but you can see that's a pretty decent sized roll of paper. And it's basically the same paper that I was using, and it's for like half the price. So I put it in my Amazon store for the girl who was asking me about it. And so that's in there if you guys are interested or you need something like that for drop paper, background paper, something like that. So anyway, I had a piece of this laying underneath this stuff. Well, it was going through, right? And it makes a lighter version of the same line. So the wiggly line went right through onto this paper, and you can still see it. And then, of course, I did this piece right on top of the lines. But I really liked how the lines looked, and I thought, wow, wouldn't that be so cool if it were across the other way too? And I made like a grid. So I did another piece with the lines going that way. And then I liked it so much. Here's how it turned out. Isn't that neat? It looks just like a piece of open weave burlap or something. And it's, you know, kind of falling apart. I love it. So I liked that so much. I took the one piece that I had drew the lines the other way, and I drew lines in the other way on it too, so that I had one on a tissue paper. But it's so cute, and what's fun is to leave the edges hanging out, because then it does kind of look like the piece is fraying or something, you know. It just turned out really fun, and it was so accidental. Just thought when I did it here, I thought, well, let me turn it this way while I'm drawing these lines, and I love how that looks. I just love that. So anyway, this the green marks are from this one. I just made some green lines right on top of the first one that I made, which was this one. Isn't that so fun? And it's so random. I love the randomness of it. And it's so easy. It's so easy. So that's what it looks like when it goes through onto, you know, the other paper. And you can do this on top of any kind of paper, printer paper. You can do it on top of craft paper, you know, book text, whatever you want. And it'll go right through the tissue paper onto whatever you have underneath it. So anyway, I thought we'd do a little bit more of that so you guys can see how simple this is to do with Sharpie markers. And of course, you can use, you know, the other size too if you happen to have those. I put this set in my Amazon store today, and I also put in a set that's this size that has many more colors than this. I think it was about 24 colors. I think it was 24 colors. Anyway, and those will be in this size, the fine point. So anybody who's interested, wants something like that, I did go ahead and put them in there just so you guys would know and be able to have them. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Cynthia, I don't think I said hi to you. Hello, welcome. Let's see, anything else? I'm so glad the sound is better, you guys. I'm using the mic for my videos now too, and I think the sound is going to be much, much better. It already had gotten a little bit better when I got my new phone, but I think it's even more better with the mic. It just has a nicer quality, and it's just a lot easier to hear. And I noticed the last time I did the live stream, the audio was fading in and out, and that's, I don't know what causes that. I didn't do anything different, but it was fading in and out. So you guys let me know if you should hear that fading in and out thing this time, okay? Thank you. All right, so I'm going to scoot these over. I am going to put a craft mat down just on the off chance that something bleeds through. I don't want to mess up my my grid here, my gray grid. This is my junky craft mat that's all stained, but isn't it wonderful to have stained things that you know you've been playing on and creating on? I love it. It's great. Okay, so we have these colors. I want to do some different ones because I just stopped after I did those 2 or 3, and so I thought, well, I'm going to do some more, but I'm going to turn on the camera. And we'll just have a live playtime with this. So I'll put these here so I can grab them quickly. And I'll just put this down underneath here like that. All right, coffee time. Check the chat while I'm sipping. Oh, hi, Joni. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Oh, Janet, you're saying, so glad I did. Is that you talking about the mic or the mat? Putting down the mat. Because if you're talking about putting down the mat, that's just like putting down the, putting on your apron, right? Yes, that's so true, Ember. You got to use the gunky stuff because that's the stuff you've already played with and had fun with. And they work. We know they work because the proof is right there on the tools. Oh my goodness. Okay, so tissue paper. I've already torn a few pieces. And that's another thing about having the mic. Whenever I move away from the camera, turn one way or the other, you can still hear me just as well. So that's another plus. That's a nice benefit. So I just took some regular gift wrapping tissue, and it was already cut into some pieces that were similar to the size of this one. And then I just took a ruler and just, ripped them up into manageable pieces. Because you'll find that when you're sitting down to do something like this, you're not necessarily going to want to work on and fill up a sheet this big, okay? But if you work on little sheets like this, it's fun, and you're like, oh, that was doable. I'll do another one, And it just, to me, it encourages me to keep going because I just did a little one, so I could do another one of those, and so that's what I did. I just cut up, or tore up, actually, some little pieces of tissue. And don't forget, you guys, you can also use your stamps. In case I forget to say this later, you can use your stamps and just stamp all over some tissue paper and make collage paper that way too. So it's all very, very doable. We just have to think about it. Remember to use our supplies, Hi, Karen. Oh, thank you. Yes, I've been doing a couple of lives recently, kind of got back into doing them again. I did a few years ago, and so lately I got into making these collage papers, and so I've done a few live streams just on this, but I promise I'll be doing some other stuff too. This will probably be the last one I do on this particular topic. But it's fun, and I just want you guys to be making these things and making yourself a little stash of them, to use, so that once you sit down and you're ready to create, in your little book, collage book, you've got some papers and things that are ready to just stick down. You don't have to stop and make something or figure out what you're going to use. You've got things to pull from that you can already use because they're made already, so that's the whole point in making these and getting a little stash of them ready. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna, I'm grabbing this green one. This is a darker green. This green right here was this pen, this marker. So I'm gonna use this darker one and just do some, let's see, what will I do? I can do some little branches, I guess, little leafy branches. The pen wants to bleed a little tiny bit, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you're gonna, and look, isn't that so fun? It bleeds a tiny bit, but it doesn't continue to bleed and keep going unless you leave the pen in one place too long, and then, of course, it can do that. But it's just so fun, just doodling, you know. And just making them wobbly is so much more fun than trying to make it perfect. You know, it's fun when you relax and let go of your perfectionism and stuff. Because I know I've done it, been there, done that, and it's just not fun. You know, so let go of all that. Just quickly do what you want to do and leave it. You know, and be done. Let's see. I don't know if we can put any of this, whoops, I don't know if we can put any of this inside those little leaves, but it might be cute if we could put a little bit in there. I'm trying to line up what's underneath now because I want to keep that stuff, you know, in there. I'm not completely filling it, just kind of scribbling a little bit in there. And these chisel nibs are pretty good because you do have a pointed side that you can use for, you know, for finer lines like this, you know, and then you can also, you know, make the broader lines like this. And this stuff is just so fun to collage with. It's just, they look amazing on your pages, you know. You can take the, like I'll take this darker green. We'll go back this way with a thin line. Isn't that cool? It's almost like a little plaid or something. So fun. Yes, we do love wobbly, Janet. We do. So if Posca pens, you know, sets of colors is too pricey for your budget, consider getting the inexpensive Sharpie markers, because whereas they don't do exactly the same thing. I mean, I'm a big Posca pen fan. You guys know that. And these are not they're not opaque. Like, they won't write on top of other things and show up like the Posca pens do. But for this purpose, they're perfect. And they won't bleed, you know, later when you're collaging on top of the tissue, because they're permanent. The ink is permanent. So, you know, you can't go wrong with a Sharpie pen. The only issue I have is I can't use them too long, or else the smell gets to me. Ugh. I wish they could do something about that. But, you know, it is what it is, and we just enjoy it for a little while and do something else and then come back and do some more. All right, I'm just going to make some little swirlies. It's a little difficult to hold the tissue paper down, which is another good reason to have a small piece, because you can easily hold it, you know, hold it in place. So, like for the lines, I was holding it at the top like this, you know, and that way I can hold it fairly well. I mean, it still wants to get away from me occasionally, but at least, I mean, my hand is moving it here too at the bottom, but it might take a few tries before you get it, you know, exactly the way you want it. But once you get going, it's just so fun. Yeah, I know the alcohol markers are very expensive, and they do have some cheap versions. I know there's one called, I haven't heard of the one you're mentioning, Karen, Olo. I have heard of Ohuhu, I think. Hey, Ruth. Ruth made it to the live too. Yay. It is, Janet. It's very relaxing, and it's so fun. You just get to sit and play, and then you end up with some fun things to to play with in your little collage journals, or anything you want to use it on, really. So I like this color. It looks like a different blue. It actually comes out more of a turquoisey blue than a sky blue. Can you see the difference? I don't know if you can tell. This sort of looks turquoisey in the camera, but it's really more of a tealy kind of blue. So I like that. Okay. Let's see. What else? Oh, I wanted to do some red also. We'll do that on the bottom of this one. Make some little swirls. I think I said I was going to make swirls a minute ago, and I got carried away with lines. You have to be patient with the paper that wants to move, though. I guess you could tape it down. For me, that's a little bit more of a struggle. I don't know if I would want to, you know, constantly be having to put tape down and take it up, but I really love the stuff that comes through. That's so neat. So cool. And then making the little lines like this is awesome, especially if you do it in a random style. This one's kind of skipping a little. Let me see if I can scribble with it a minute and get it working better. Not really. It's still kind of a, maybe it's the way I'm holding it. Maybe it's the nib itself. I don't know. Okay, we'll just keep trying. There we go. That's a little bit better. Maybe I need to go a little slower with this one until it gets, like I said, I've not used these. If I used them at all, it was a very, very minor amount. And this is fun to do quickly, too. The quicker you do it, the more random it will be. Because if you do it slowly, you're going to think about it. You know what I mean? You're going to think, and then it's going to take too long. But if you just get into it and do it, you know, you won't have that. And then you can also make little lines just by holding the chisel, the very narrowest point of the chisel, straight up and down. You can make little lines like this. Isn't that fun? And it'll be so fun to use, you know, later. That's what I think is going to be neat. Having them all ready to go. Okay, what's happening on the chat? Would that work with deli sheets? It will work. You know, the deli paper has a waxy side and a non-waxy side in most cases. So you would probably, I can try it. You can do it on the non-waxy side, but I don't know that it's going to disappear for you as well as tissue paper does. Because tissue paper is magic like that because of the fact that it's so thin. And there's absolutely, well, I won't say no wax. Some of the tissue papers now have some kind of a shiny side to them, so I don't know if that's wax or not. But I mean, even these tissue papers that I'm using right here, one side is very flat and one side is shiny. So, but here's a piece of deli paper, so we'll do that. And it's almost the same thickness as tissue paper. It is a little bit thicker, but it's very similar. I just don't know if it will disappear as well when you go to glue it down. That's the only thing. Use the Start Glue one. So we can make sure I got the correct side going here. One side is waxy, one side is not. Okay, that's this one. Let's move these papers over. Just do some of this blue up here by this blue. In fact, I'm going to do it on top. We'll see how good the see-through thing goes. too. All right, I'm going to turn it on its edge and do the same thing. These are straighter lines. I know they're not perfectly straight, but they're not the wibbly-wobbly lines that I made on that black one. I'll put a few more in here. Maybe make a few wiggly. They look more like threads. Ooh, I'm dragging my hand through it. That's not good. Don't do what I just did. Do not drag your hand through it because it's staying wet on this deli paper. It's staying wet. So let me get I have my hand sanitizer readily available here because, you know, I knew that this kind of thing was going to happen. But the hand sanitizer is good to take it right off. See? Gone for the most part. I mean, you get a good bit of it off for sure. Okay, so I'll be careful not to do that. Now, see, you can see the difference because of that waxy layer. We got very little coming through. Now, I wasn't pressing real hard either, but I wasn't pressing real hard for a lot of this other stuff either. So, it did want to bead up on here. But I don't know how well it's going to dry, but we'll find out. That looks very purple. That dark blue looks very purple, but it's a blue. According to the cap, it's a blue. Okay. All right, so it's dry now. It's not smearing. It's not smearing when I get a tiny little bit on my finger, very tiny amount, small amount. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to glue it to something. I'm looking for something I can glue it to real quick. That will let us see if we can see the white. Use this. We'll use that. Oh, the air conditioner comes on and it blows away all of my tissue paper. Oh, you know what? Well, it is dark enough to see it though. Okay, so I'm going to tear off a piece as if I were, you know, creating in a collage journal. I'll tear it off and we're going to see if it disappears well. It's a light colored background, so you might not see it. So that might be a good thing. On a darker background, you might see it more. This is just my glue and water mixture, mostly glue, a little bit of water. Okay. So you can see that because the ink is permanent, it's not smearing. And it is gluing down pretty well, especially on this lighter background. But just keep in mind to test it out if you're going to do this and put it on a dark background because the deli paper might show up more. Now, right now I can't see any of the deli paper, but when it's dry is often when it shows up. So we'll dry it real quick. I'll check the chat. Oh, you're welcome, Barbara. It's my pleasure. I like to learn and remember too, you know, trying out things I haven't done in a while. I know that I've probably done this in the past, but I couldn't remember for sure how it was going to go. So I like learning and playing along. Hey, Janet. Janet Baum. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thumbs up are always a good thing. Help out channels when you do that. So whoever you watch, even if you don't care for the video, the people that took time and energy to make that video, they deserve a thumbs up. Even if it wasn't your thing. I'm just trying to straighten the paper out now on the edge of my table. So always make sure you give the creators a thumbs up. Okay, so in this case, Barbara, it worked beautifully. Okay. It worked beautifully. I really can't see much deli paper at all. If I look hard, I can see because I know it's there, but somebody who didn't know it was there, they wouldn't be able to notice that. So on a light background, that appears to be a pretty good thing to use too. Yay. Good experiment. Rinse that glue out of my brush real quick. Where'd my paper towels go? Oh, of course, they're be behind stuff. Hard to reach now. But I'll get them. I hope. There we go. I'll get my iPad set back up again now so I can see the chat. There we go. All right. Dry this brush off because it's got a wooden handle, and you see I've left it in the I've left it too long in the water before. It starts to swell, the wood starts to swell, and the paint just pops off. So just dry it off and lay it down and it'll be good. All right, so yay, we did a deli paper experiment. That was fun. And something else I was going to show you guys too, that I wasn't aware of. I did this earlier today, but I was looking around because I thought I might have a set of this size of the colored Sharpies. I have them in a fine point, like the extra fine one, but I thought I had this size, but I didn't. But anyway, while I was looking around, I came across some other markers that I had, and I thought, I don't think these are permanent. I don't think they are. So these are the mild liners. You guys might be familiar with these if a lot of people use these like in planners and bullet journals and stuff. So they're like a highlighter. They're light colored. They're not real dark like the Sharpies. But I had a feeling that they were probably not permanent. So I did a little test, and guess what? They're permanent. I was shocked, stunned actually. Here's the pen I used. I was stunned. And you can see I glued the tissue paper, just like I just now did that deli paper piece. I glued the tissue paper onto this piece of cardstock. And you can see it's kind of a yellow colored against this white. So this white was different from this white. You can see the tissue paper there. But I fully expected that that was going to run when I put the glue and water on it. So I'm thinking that these are going to be okay to use too. So if you happen to have these mild liners, what company is this from? Zebra or Zebra? I don't know their name, but these have a pointy end, you know, a small pointy nib on one end, and they have the chisel on the other end. So if you happen to have these, I think they're going to work for you. And I want to try it out again, and just because I used this glue and water here, I'm going to try it out again with, what am I saying? I want to try it again using like Mod Podge or Collage Podge or something like that has more in it. You know, those markers have more in them, sealers and stuff like that. And I don't know if those will make this bleed or not. And I thought, well, we could just try it and see. Why not, right? Okay, so we'll just do the same kind of thing. We'll do some little lines. Some of these are bolder than others. And so, I mean, they're just nice. They're lovely. They're great colors. And they're not as, I guess they're not as juicy as the Sharpies because they don't really bleed through a lot. And I press down pretty good with that. But I just think it's going to be a fun experiment just to see. I know the glue and water didn't make it smear, but we'll Mod Podge or Collage Podge or one of those, cause it to smear. Let's see. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Okay. Oh, I know, Amber. I'm a homebody too, so if I get stained up, I'm not too terribly upset, but I don't like to get all stained. I don't like to get my hands all stained. Y'all know me. Bye, Ruthie. Thanks for coming in and joining us for a minute. Okay. Oh, thanks, Karen. Karen's talking about my coffee journal that I made. I'm repeating some of this, you guys, for the people who will be watching the recording. I don't know why sometimes the live chat shows up on a live stream and sometimes it doesn't. But in the case that it doesn't and people aren't following along, she's talking about my coffee journal and how much she enjoyed it. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. That was one of my favorite journals I've ever made because it's so near and dear to my heart, don't you know? All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Barbara says that the mild liners are good for Bible marking. Okay, that makes sense for highlighting. And Janet has them too. Okay. Hi, Linda. Made it to a live. Woohoo! Yay! There's Cindy. Hey, Cindy. Glad to see you. And another Cindy popping right in behind her. First Cindy McCabe and then Cindy Bagley. Hey, guys. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming into my live. We're just making some more collage papers and doing some experiments. Having a lot of fun already. Let's see if I missed anything else. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Okay, if I missed anything and if you have a specific question for me, make sure that you put it in all caps for me so that it's easier for me to see. I promise I won't think you're yelling at me. I promise. But it is a lot easier when you're busy doing so many other things. It's so much easier to see the all caps when you have a question or something you really need me to see, you know. Hello, See Clearly. Welcome. Okay, here we go. We're going to test this. And by the way, this little zipper pouch is part of my merch line that I don't have very much in right now, but I do have a couple of things. And this little zipper pouch is one of those. So you should be able to find that directly below my videos if you're interested in it. I love it. I love the color on it, and nice cloth bag with a nice sturdy zipper. I love it. So that's what I had all these mild liners in. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and see about putting this here with, let's see, what will I use? I have, next to me, I have Decoupage. This is the one. This is a product from Americana and Deco Art. And it's very much like Collage Podge and Mod Podge and all those others. All right, I'm going to put this down here. And anytime, I've said this before and I'll probably keep saying it, anytime you're gluing down, mine is getting a little thick, so I'm trying to find pieces that parts that don't include pieces. Anytime you're gluing down tissue paper and you want the tissue paper to disappear, obviously, you just got to make sure you're putting enough of the Mod Podge, whatever the adhesive is, on there. It's got to go into a good wet area so that it soaks into the tissue paper, okay? And then just carefully put another good amount of the whichever adhesive you're using, put that on top and just really saturate it. That's the trick. And I even forget a lot of times. I was just making something yesterday and I just didn't put quite enough glue underneath, you know, and so when it dried I could see the white tissue paper. Now on here, you're not going to see the tissue paper as much because I'm putting it right down onto a white piece of paper. But if you weren't, if I was putting it onto an art journal page, and there was something underneath it, a painted paper underneath it, then it would be a lot more visible. You would be able to see the tissue paper. So you just want to be really careful to make sure you get it saturated underneath and on top. Hello, Amethyst Wizard. Yes, I'm working on some collage papers, and in this particular case, I'm using tissue paper. A moment ago, I did some marks with a Sharpie marker on deli paper, and then I glued it down with a glue and water mixture onto a little jelly print, and turned out pretty good. So this time, I'm just checking these mild liners, and you see they didn't smear. I was so busy talking, I didn't even notice that it didn't smear when I was brushing it on. That's crazy. This was a different piece of tissue paper. It's not yellow like this one. Okay. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even recognize that it didn't smear, but you can clearly see it didn't. It did not smear, and that's these zebra mild liners. Those two are those markers. They did not smear. This one I glued down with the glue and water mixture, and this one with the decoupage. So that answers that. That tells me that those are permanent. And I like that. That's so cool. The other things that I was making, Amethyst Wizard, you can let us know your name if you want to, your first name. Because I'm assuming that's your channel name. Amethyst could be your name, but you can let us know. These were made also on tissue paper for collage with Sharpie markers. There's Safia. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Now you are where? You're saying evening. I don't know where you might be. I mean, it's getting to be evening for us too here, I guess, in the States, but or on the East Coast. Oh, you just subbed too. Good, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, feel free to watch and play along, Safia. We have a lot of fun here. In the UK, all right. You're in the UK, and Janet Nash is in the UK. We've got a few other countries represented too, New Zealand and Australia. And I don't remember if there was anybody else on the other side of the world from us, or from me, I mean. A couple of other states are represented. But anyway, these are so much fun, you guys. They are so much fun, and it's so nice. Now look at this. This took less than an hour for sure for me to create several little colorful bits to use whenever. And the background papers are just as fun to me as the tissue papers were, and they can be used in collage as well. So now they don't disappear like the tissue paper does, but they can still be glued down as a background. So yeah. Do it, everybody, do it. Enjoy it. Have some stash to play with. So I didn't really have a whole lot planned out to do in this stream, other than making sure everybody knew that Sharpie markers are permanent, and they work for collage papers just like Posca paint pens work. They work in a different way, but they still work, and they're still permanent. And now I'm finding out that these mild liners are permanent, which I love. We already know that the Faber-Castell Pitt pens are permanent, and the Dr. P.H. Martin's India inks. Those are permanent. We were working on that in the last live. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited because there's a lot of different colors here that I don't have in this set, for instance. So I'm excited to have more goodies to play with. I had gotten these thinking I would use them in my little planner, but I find that I don't really use my little planner very much anymore. And so now I have a new use for them, and I'm very excited because they're permanent. I love permanent things. I really do. Okay, I think I want to stamp some. That's what I want to do. I do have a couple of stamps laying out here. This one is a swirl. Where's my black? Here we go. And I'm going to do this on tissue paper as well. You guys, if you have issues with when you're trying to ink things up and your stamp pad won't be still, put it on one of these non-slip grid thingies. It works great. Tissue paper, that's what I'm looking for. Let's see here. Let's put some swirls on. I have some other swirl stamps too, but I just happened to grab this one. These hadn't been used, or at least not very much, so I hope they won't be too sticky. But we'll give it a shot. Nope, pretty good. No, we do not grow out of school supplies. Absolutely not. Okay, who's lurking? Oh, Amethyst. Well, you should. You should lurk. Yeah, if you want to learn about crafts, then you're in the right place. We're all learning together. And having fun, too. Okay. This is fun. I'm going to turn the stamp around too. Don't forget whenever you're stamping like this to turn the stamp occasionally, and that way they won't all look identical. I often forget to do that, and then I look back at the page. I'm like, why didn't I turn that stamp while I was stamping? Why didn't I? I'm trying to keep my tissue paper kind of lined up with that background, although this is not bleeding through as much as the Sharpie markers did. But still. Thank you for all the links, Janet. Appreciate that. And I'm going to turn it one more time, and we'll get a couple down here that are even more different. Now see, won't this be a cool sheet to just tear and glue down somewhere? Won't that be awesome? Look at that. And how simple was that? Quick, so quick. And so nice to have it already made and done and waiting for you, right? Here's the underneath. See how cool is that? So fun. You could literally just tear a strip down, or you could tear some this way. I like that. Very cool. All right, what else did I have out here? I have one here. I'm not sure what this is. I have not used this stamp. So let's try it and see what it looks like. Some kind of lines. It's a background type stamp. Yeah, it is cool, isn't it, Janet? Ooh, that's neat. So I can stagger these a little bit. That's kind of cool. It just takes a few minutes to do this. We just don't often think to do it, you know. And then we sit down and we want to make, you know, like a collage page or something, and we're like, I don't have anything to put on a page, you know. But if you do this, you will. You'll have things all ready to go. Whoops. Isn't that neat? That's just amazing. Do a little bit up here, the edge. There we go. Fill it up. Fill it up. That is so cool. You can tear it this way, tear it this way, tear it in circles. Wouldn't that look cool? Circles cut out of that or torn out of that. Love it. You can use colored inks. You don't have to use just black. Although black is very striking when you put it down on top of, you know, a colored page. Some more coffee. Yes, Jana, I agree. It's so nice to have them on the ready. Let's see. Thanks, Linda. I think that's casting a shadow. I got to keep it over that way, I think, out of the light. Let's see, what else? Do I have anything else? Yes, I do have one more that I wanted to stamp. And I think I do want to use black for this. It's one of those things that I think I would like to put on top of, I think I'm going to have to ink this up differently, upside down, because it's a larger stamp. But it's very cool. Might be about time to put some more ink on my stamp pad too. We'll get a couple of these though out of this. Let's see. It's cool. It's very cool. I need another piece of paper here to be able to slide these over onto to show you because it's so busy underneath. There we go. That's how it looks. Yeah, these all came out of a set, the same set, I believe, these three. And if I can remember, I will link it in my store, my Amazon store. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm going to turn it this way this time. I think it'll fit too. Just fits. How about that? The little create bag in my shop should be underneath my video. Maybe not this one yet. I mean, this being a live stream, but any of my other videos. Oh, or you can look on my main page, my main YouTube page, and across the top, you know, you see headings like it says home, videos, playlists, community, and if you scroll over, keep going, scroll over, you'll see more headings, and one of them says shop. So if you click there, you will see the little pencil bag. So anyway, look how cool that is. That's fun. It's going to be fun to use. I need to ink my, re-ink my stamp pad because I didn't really get the best impressions. And I didn't have my little, normally I put my little, that little mouse pad underneath there to give it something to kind of squish into. So I can get a better impression, but that gives you an idea of how fun. And you know, we have so many stamps that I'm sure everybody's bound to have something that they can stamp in black to use. Like last time I was using a butterfly stamp in black and it was fun. Very, very fun. All right, so I guess I could hang around for a little bit longer, although, like I said, I don't really have anything planned. Should I make a page in my little book, maybe? I really don't know what I would do, but what do y'all think? Are you here for the duration? Should I make a page in my little book? Let me know if you're going to be here for a little bit. Okay, everybody says yes. Well, several people say yes, let me say. Okay. All right. Well, usually when I sit down to start one of these, I kind of have an idea. Today, not so much. So it might be a little bit iffy, but it's a fun way to do it. I've created like that plenty of times, and I usually am so happy with the outcome of things that I don't even plan. So, okay, let's do it. Let's make a page. Oh, that's sweet, Ember. Do you have to ask? I kind of wanted to ask just because of, you know, the time. And if everybody's going to be hanging around for a little bit, maybe we could. Okay, so as I said before, I'm only working in this book for now. I'm only working on the right side of the page. I'm not creating on this side yet. And I am starting to go back and forth in my book. Did a few pages in the front, and now I'm going to do a few pages in the back, and this is the last one that I did. So now I'll do one here, which I think I'm going to need to prep my pages. Yeah, I haven't glued these together and cut my pages out yet. So for those of you who are new and don't know what I've done, I'm taking this little composition book. It has 100 pages in the book. And I am gluing 2 pages together, but I'm cutting out 2 pages in between. So I've got this page that's going to glue to this page, and I'm cutting out these 2. And I stagger the cut for these 2. I could just take and chop right through here and cut them out. And then when I glued this down, there would be a little bump right here where it bumps over where these were cut. So what I do is cut them out one at a time, and I stagger the cut a little. So this one, I just cut one on the line, that red line, and I save these to use. I'll use them later. And then I cut the next one, I cut below the line, just like that. And that way it lays much flatter and nicer when it's glued down. All right, let me grab my glue stick. It's behind everything again. I wasn't thinking about gluing today, so I didn't have that ready. All right, so put a little bit of glue inside here and stick this. Ooh, a lot of glue there, a lot of glue. Go ahead and stick that down. Stick those 2 together, I should say. All right. And then I'm going to glue that little tab down as well. Just like that. So now these 2 pages, these just become 1 page and 2 pages, and then I'll glue those together completely. Let's see, get my deli paper in here. Yeah. And I just cover this in glue. Oh, you know what would be fun is in the first live stream I did recently, when I first started this collage paper playing, I made a little frog. Is anybody here that remembers that? maybe I'll use that frog today. He was fun. All right, I'm going to just leave that laying down there, and I'm going to put this page right over on top of that one. And you can scrape this with a, credit card type thing. You can roll it with a brayer, whatever you want to use to get all the air bubbles out and to make sure it sticks together well. Okay. Just like that. Is it perfect? Nah. Do I care? No. I don't. Okay, is anybody here that I miss? Hey, Roberta, I did miss you. How you doing? Yay, you caught another one. Awesome. I did put a notification on Instagram. Did anybody see that? I hope it went in. I didn't check it because I had just turned on the thing and I had my post ready and I just clicked share, and so I hope it went. I did not look to see if it actually did. Okay. So I'm going to hit this with the heat gun just for a minute to kind of help dry up some of the glue. Well, I need to put the cap on my glue too. There we go. Yeah, Cindy, that one, the one I gave a smile. Well, actually, he had a smile. I just colored it in. Yeah, that's the frog. He's purple. He's a purple frog. Just because I decided to stamp in something completely unusual, because typically we're going to grab green for a frog, right? Or brown. And I said, let's do something different. So I grabbed purple. All right, so now we have a page ready to go. And I said before, you don't have to do your book this way. If you have one of these and you're playing along with me, you don't have to do yours this way. But I like to do it because I think it's going to help keep the book from getting too thick. Because the more you glue in and add to, the thicker your pages get, which means the thicker your book gets. So I'm just trying it out as an experiment to see if I like it. And I'm just gluing the pages as I go along instead of sitting for a couple of hours cutting out pages and gluing together, cutting out pages and gluing together, and cutting out pages. That's a long process and it's very boring. But that was so fast and I didn't mind. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Oh, fun, Roberta. I'm so glad you had a good vacation. That's awesome. Okay, so now it's the time to stall and say, what am I going to do? All right, I'm putting myself on the spot here. Is what I'm doing, you guys. I'm putting myself on the spot. Okay, I'm just kind of clearing up a little bit, actually getting some stuff out of my face so that I've got things, my brain doesn't work in too much clutter. Some clutter, yeah, I'm fine. But if I get too much around me, I can't, it's like a claustrophobic sort of a feeling for me, and it really stifles my creativity because all I can think of is I can't think because I've got too much. But when I clear a space, then that feels good. I mean, it feels like, I can breathe again, kind of a thing. So that's why. And you guys see my videos and you think about how neat it all looks and everything, but it's really not neat. I've got a chaos going on the table beside me and out here in the front. There's a lot going on, but if I have a space here that I can breathe in, I feel a whole lot better. That's just all there is to it. That's the way I work. That's the way I play, I guess I should say. Yes, got to have something cleared or else I cannot think. Yep. Okay. Now, Frog. Where did I put him in my box with my little, there he is. There he is, sitting right there, right on top. And this was what I had created in the last. We might use some of that. There's some plants there, and this is a frog, you know. He's going to be outdoors, so we just might use some of those. So I'm going to keep them handy. So here's my frog. He's so sweet. And he is stamped on tissue paper, and then I colored in the mouth, and I did an outline with Posca pens. It's kind of hard to see him. Let me see. I don't know if this will help or not. Yeah, that kind of makes him whiter. There we go. So the yellow, I can't breathe on him. The yellow outline kind of blended into the purple, so it sort of looks brown. But it is an outline, and I just left it like we did it that day. And so then I tore him out so he'd be ready to go. So let's make him go today. How about it? I got to find some kind of background paper. Maybe I've got something right here next to me. I mean, there's plenty here. I just got to see if I can find something that would work. That's very blue. I don't think that's one. Oh, here's that paper. I mentioned in one of the streams I had bought some Posca pens that have a bullet nib, kind of like those Sharpies. And when I was testing them, or not testing them, but priming them to get them all ready to be used, make the ink come down into the nib, I created this little page on a book paper. Just put all these little dots on just because it was fun. And I can tear that up and use it as collage. But I didn't have it handy when I was talking about it that day. And so, you know, right here's some pinky, purpley sort of bits, but I think it's probably going to be a little too much since he is so purple. What about this? This looks kind of, this is colorful, but it's kind of muted down a little bit. This is a piece of a drop paper. It's like packing paper that you wrap around your dishes and things like that when you're packing to move. I'll put this back because I'm thinking probably won't work, but I think this might work. There's a lot of green area down here. That might work right across there to stick down. There's green on this end too. Well, we can lay it down and see what it looks like. At least be a starting point, right? Let's see. I know it'll fit, so let's see what we think. Let's get an idea. Fold it over like that. Okay, so that's about how it would look if I put that whole sheet on. Not bad. And here's the front. Oh, this looks like it could be a little pond. I'm already imagining things now. Could be a little pond, though. He could sit right there by the water. Look at that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? That's kind of cute. Put some plants around and... Okay, I'm liking that. What do you guys think? What do you think? Thanks, Roberta. This was a little frog stamp that I picked up in a bag full of kids' foam stamps at a garage sale. And I stamped him out. I think my #1 collage play live stream is, I think, when I made that one. Oh, Cindy, now you're remembering the right one. You were thinking about the one I gave a smile to, the toothy smile. Yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah, yeah, that one, actually, that one was a frog too, that I put the teeth on. That was hilarious. That was on my morsel mashup cards that I made. Yeah, teeny tiny little half size index cards, really little. Okay, you guys liking it, so I'm thinking that that's what I'll do. I'm thinking I will thinking I got to keep enough of that blue there because that's his little pond. So I need to cut this off about right there. About right there. I might just tear it, but I'm going to give myself a line to tear it by. Yep. I'll get my little ruler out. And let's see, how much of that at the top do we need to come off? So I'll know where my borders are. Folded that crooked, but that's okay. Put that over here, keep it together. And this one, you can see my line better on the back. Well, I could a minute ago. I think that's pretty good. Okay. And the rest can be trimmed off after I glue it on the page. I almost cheated myself a little at the top, but I think I got enough. I have to be careful when I put that on, though, for sure. All right, we'll put this back in again and glue this page. We'll just make a cute little froggy scene, and then maybe we can find some words to put on. That'll be fun. Totally did not expect to do this today, so this is fun. Because now my brain's working, you know, thinking about, what can I add? Okay. Cap on. Do that. Put this on. Okay, where'd my brayer go? Yep. Just like that. Okay. And we can trim it off. I always love the look of a paper that you put down on a page, and then once you trim it out, it looks so great. I love that. I'll tear that part because it's hard to get to. Whoops. Don't want to tear that yet, it's wet. It wants to tear more than it's supposed to. Thanks, Safia. It's just a fun little painted paper I made one day on a drop sheet. And I just kept adding things, bubble wrap and circles and, you know, with cap lids, little jar lids and things. So fun. I think that the paper could have been a roll-off paper for my brayer during a jelly print session. It's possible. I don't know for sure, but it could have been that. And then I just, you know, kept playing on it because why not? It's what we do, right? There we go. Oops, went the wrong way. Okay, maybe I can snip this off here now. There we go. Love it. Love it. Yes, they do. They make some of the best art fodder for sure. I love it. And especially like, when that page was full, and it just looks so busy and so crazy. And then yet when you cut it down, it starts to be a little bit more reasonable. And then when it gets to something like this, it's, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And it really is. And that's what I love about doing this. It's just so creatively fun, and you don't even have to try hard at it, really. It's so fun. Move that coffee out of the way. Don't want to spill anything here. Okay, so we have our background. Now, where's our froggy? Here he is. Okay, I think he's going to be adorable, sitting by the water. I don't know how much of this background is going to come through. I mean, this is a solid purple mass, but I can see some white and stuff through there. So I don't know if I need to put any white back there or just go ahead and stick him down and, just go for it. Seeing as how it's just a play page, I'm tempted to just go for it and let whatever happens happen. Because frogs do have little bumps and marks and things on them, right? I mean, yes, Mr. Froggy's getting a home, Janet, for sure. For sure. Okay, what do I do with my brush? Ooh, I left it in the water. Bad girl. Bad girl. Was just saying not to do that. All right. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, do we want to put him down yet? Wait a minute, let's think about this. Yeah, because I don't want to draw or put anything behind him because that would just show through. So we're going to go ahead and put him down right here on this side of the page. Okay, and nice heavy layer of glue. Glue and water is what it is. You can use the Mod Podges and all that stuff too. I just use this because it's just cheaper, and then sometimes if I feel like I want my page to have a sheen, I'll put Mod Podge or something over the whole thing if I want to. But lately I haven't done too much of that. I'm kind of happy with just collaging using this and being done with it, It's just how I'm feeling, I think kind of right there is cute. So I need to put a little bit more under here because I did not go out far enough. Make sure it gets plenty underneath. We don't want too much white showing. And, it might still show some, but if we can avoid it, we try to avoid it. Sometimes I've even taken paint and gone around the white if it's showing too much. And it works out fine too to do that. I'm just trying to saturate this. Now something is coming up, something pink. So I'm not sure why. Some of that purple ink maybe that I used. Don't typically have that happen with my ink, but it's not terrible, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. There we go. He's looking cute. Yeah, there was a lot of pink there. I'm not sure what that was about. Okay. I'm going to take a wet wipe and just kind of wipe away a little bit around the edges to make sure that whatever tissue paper is there doesn't end up being pink. See how it's doing? So I'd kind of like to, while it's wet, just go ahead and wipe just around the outer edge and make sure that I get, as much of that off of there while it's wet. Okay. Yeah, I think it's coming off of that purple. This is Posca pen, and I don't think it's that. But honestly, I'm not sure what it is, but I believe it's the purple. But I'm surprised. Okay. Anyway, there he is, sitting by the water. So cute. Let's dry that so we have room to do other things without getting our hands in or tearing the napkin or whatever, or tissue paper, I mean. Oh yeah, that not overthinking, Safia, that's the answer right there. That's the answer to having fun. For sure, because once you start thinking, you start stressing yourself out, you know? Yes, it's so fun. I know. That's great. It's great to involve the younger set in this stuff. I used to do a lot of art with my grandkids. They were all little. Now I don't have very many little ones anymore. They're getting so big. But I do still have some young ones that enjoy it. So last couple of years gone by, we weren't able to do much of that. But now things are changing. So I'm glad of that. Very glad of that. Okay, I can see a little bit through the frog. I don't know if you can see it on camera. But I can see little bits through there, but it's not too bad. Not bad at all. In fact, I might at some point, I don't know if I'll do it right now, but sometime I might come in and put marks on him anyway, just to give him more texture, because he's kind of flat. He's a flat froggy. We'll call him Flat Froggy instead of, be like Flat Stanley. Flat Froggy. Okay, I've got some leaves. We could put some leaves around the pond. Some plants, I mean, not just leaves, but plants around the pond. I don't know, they might be too much to overtake him. What do y'all think? Here's an orange one, it might be too much. I might be able to have one over here. Let's put the taller, this is a taller one. We'll put the taller one here because it goes down further. Maybe this one can go on this side. Possibly. Let's see. What you guys think? Yay or nay? Yeah, I think it does ground him. I think I'll take a marker, put a little bit more of a border around the water so that it's kind of set apart, and it's, you can actually see the shape of it. Yes, you do. Hey, Janice, did I see you come in before? I'm sorry I missed you. If I missed you, I just can't remember now, but yeah, I'm glad you're here. Made by Pam is here too. Hi, Pam. I didn't see you either. I apologize for that. I get so involved that, get so involved. But it's fun. Oh, yeah, lily pad. We should make a lily pad. In fact, I've got a green scrap, I think, right near the top here. Here we go. Green scrap. I can make a lily pad to put on there. Let's see. Just kind of draw it out a little. I think he'll need to be like kind of oval looking, because I know they're round if you're looking straight on, but if you're looking from the side, it would be like an oval, right? I think I'm thinking of that right. And then we'll put a little cut in it. Gosh, when I lived in Illinois for a few years, we had a pond in the front of our house, and I loved it. We had the water lilies out there, and lots of water lilies and lots of frogs, and it was so enjoyable. I so many pictures. I'm going to have to share some of those. So many pictures of frogs and lily pads and dragonflies and things out there around that pond. It was wonderful. Yeah, I actually thought about that. Maybe a butterfly or a dragonfly. Yeah, a dragonfly would be great. It's kind of little, but what do we think about the lily pad? It might work, right? Maybe if it, no, don't put it off the page. I think it'd be just a smaller one, right? I think that's kind of fun. But we do like the plants, right? Is that what we said? We like the plants. Should I stick them down? Yay. Okay. So, isn't that funny that I just saw this recently and I knew right where that was? That's so funny. So funny. Okay. I mean a particular scrap of paper. Must have been meant to be. I know that some of this will get cut away, but off the edges, but I think it's going to be cute. Good place to use these fun little things we made last time. Maybe I will cut that off right there. Cut it off with my ripping fingers. Come on. There we go. That way we can save a little bit of it. Love it. Okay, next, this one in the back. Oh, I don't want to tear this. My fingers are already sticky. So I got to be really careful. There. Hopefully. Yay. All right. So this one's going to go here. Okay. This paper is much thinner. This is that paper from the bank book, some kind of like a yearly report kind of thing or something, and it's so thin, but I love the paper, but boy, it's it's hard to deal with when it gets wet. It's got curls. Okay. That'll look about right. I think maybe move it in towards the pond a little bit more. Here we go. Yay. All right, do we like the lily pad? Did we agree on that one? Thanks, Linda. Good, thank you. Yeah, I like the way it's framing that whole little area of the pond. I'm gonna go ahead and snip these off so that we can see what it's gonna really look like. sticking to the scissors. Okay. There we go. Love it. So far, so good. All right, the lily pad's going on. Getting some positive words about that, so we're going to stick it on. Sure makes it look more like a pond, so thank you for that good idea. Excuse me. All right. You know, I said I was gonna put a little border around it. There's not really much room now, but I think I could add a little bit to help it. I just want to get a blue pit pen, I think, to put that on with. Move that now. Just a little bit of definition, you know, to kind of outline it. I don't know if I want to put any there. I think around here. I think that's good. Gives it a little bit more. You almost can't tell the difference from the circles and all that were there, but it makes me feel better, so. Okay. Now we need a dragonfly. I did think of that earlier. Grab that. It's a tiny one, so that'll be good. I mean, it's not teeny tiny, but it's smaller than he is. Grabbed a few stamps over there. Not sure what I was going to use for my my background collage stuff. So that worked out perfectly. That particular one has the big one on it too. It's actually got 3. So, oh, and it's got these two. Those were actually what I was thinking about using, was the background looking stamps. So, yeah. Cool. Okay, tiny little dragonfly. It's a very sticky stamp. I wonder, we could just stamp him over here. It's funny, it kind of looks like he's looking at it. I think just stamping it right there on the page would be good. That's a nice light area. I was thinking I might need to stamp it on something and cut it out, but I think that would work perfectly on that light area over there. So let's do it. I hope this is going to work. I'm going to test this stamp because it's sticky, sticky, sticky. Just want to make sure that it's going to stamp well. Yep. We'll get a good idea of what it is, that's for sure. And I hope it won't stick to the paint. You know, sometimes these sticky stamps, they'll stick to your paint and pull it off when you go to remove it. So I'm trying to get it wet enough that that doesn't happen. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Carefully. Oh, there we go. Yay. It looks cute. So I was thinking I might want to put another one, but I'm not sure if he would be seen if I put it anywhere else over here. This didn't get enough glue. There we go. Okay. I think this, oh. this little lily pad. And some black around it, just kind of blending into the water. Okay, cute. Now I can see it better. All right, so now what kind of quote do we need for our little froggy at the pond? Something that's not too long, but that might be cute for the page that I can put over here. What do you think? Oh, I'm so glad, Janet. It is fun to doodle on tissue paper. And it's so fun to glue it down after. It's another piece that's sticking up a little bit. I'm trying to get my palette knife. You know, you can do this little trick too if you can't get up underneath, or like if you can't pick it up very well you can put some on a palette knife, some of your glue, and then just move it around underneath there to stick it down. See, there's another little area that could use some. There we go. Better. Okay. Hello, Hilda. Oh, yes, you get a good night's sleep. Thank you for looking in, visiting with us for a few minutes. Good night. Bye, Safia. Have a good evening. Okay, does anybody have any ideas about a quote? Let me see, maybe I can look up something like a nature quote or a quote about frogs, or home. He's home at the pond. Let's see what we can find. Home is where the pond is. I like that. That's great. It's a pretty good one. And, you know, I was just thinking about home, like, you know, home is where the heart is or whatever, and trying to put that together. So that's good. That's a perfect one, Pam. Thank you. Let's see if we can put that on. I think I just saw another leaf that looked loose, but maybe not. Oh, I did. There it is. Thought I did. There we go. I don't want them to tear off. That's why I want to get that glue on there. All right. So, feeling froggy today. That's cute. All right, so let's go with home is where the pond is, and I think we'll just do a handwritten one. I'll see if I can pencil it in first. If I can see it, I don't know if I'll be able to see it very well. Okay, so we can go home is where the pond is. So, okay, home is, or maybe do home is where. Okay. Yeah, I can't see that hardly. I can't see that. Kind of see it, but not very well. Probably not worth the trouble. Let's do it with the thin line ink pen, and then we can go over it with like a Sharpie or something. Home. Okay, is, and then W-H-E-R-E, okay. Home is hope I don't start writing uphill. I'm bad about that. Home is where the P, I'm doing this capital pond is. Home is where the pond is. Okay. Might have to make that one a little bit bigger, but I can do it. Let me see, where's my Sharpie? Well, that's kind of getting covered with the blue there. Might have to add some white here and there, and I'll thicken up these letters too. Let's use the thicker one for pond. Boy, that's busy, busy, busy. I might need to write these out and stick them down instead of writing on the page, like so there'll be a white, background behind. I think so. I think it's too busy. Too busy. Maybe I have a lighter piece of something that I could write it on and just stick over the whole area there. Could write it on that green and blue thing there and stick it right there. What do we think about those colors minus the pink? A little bit too bluey, a little bit too aqua, turquoisey. Let's see. Keep looking. We'll keep looking. Of course, I have other papers too, but that green wouldn't be too bad, but not kind of close. It might be all right though. We'll try it. We'll try it. I just got to make sure now that I make them the right size. Get this butterfly out of the way. There. And this is what I have to work with. So, I don't know if I can see through that. I kind of can. I just want to make sure that I cover it well. is on here. Okay, where? Home is where? I'm trying to get the greener areas. But it's getting very light. So we're just going to have to do the best we can, I guess. The pond. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I've got home bigger and pond bigger on purpose. We'll do home and pond. Okay. And we'll get these in the smaller one. Oops. I could stay on the line there. All right, let's see what that looks like. Gotta get the pencil marks out of the way. Hi, Danita. I didn't know you were here. Sorry I missed you coming in. I've gotten kind of involved here, making this little page. Yeah, I hope you do get a good night's sleep. Hey, Maria. Good morning. Golly, it's already Sunday there. I'm working on a little page. We made some more collage papers, and then spur of the moment decided to make a page before I go. We're almost done with that. Just cutting up my little words here. I tried writing on the page, but it wasn't showing up very well. The page background is a little bit busy. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out real good. Okay. I think it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to might have to trim them down a little bit to make everything fit properly, but I think we're going to make it work. See, did I miss anything? Yes, you're right about that, Linda. They do love the marshy stuff. All right, so I have to trim this one down a little bit. Okay. And this one's got to be trimmed a little bit. Look, we made it fit. Yay. All right, now I can glue that down and we'll have us a page, you guys. Isn't that fun? See, it doesn't matter what your handwriting looks like. It just doesn't matter. It's all fun and it's all good. And you should do it so that you can save your handwriting for part of your legacy. People are going to be looking at your journals down the road, and they're going to love the homemade look to your journals. Okay, and I'll outline these too after I get them all glued on. Thank you, Janet. It's fun for an impromptu little page. It's turning out to be quite fun. Okay. Oops, my hands are a little too sticky now. Yes, those legacies are important. Then, you know, everybody's not going to want to see something that's perfect and always typed out or whatever. They want to see you, you know. Oh, this is so much more easy to read now. Glad I did this because I couldn't read before, and this is great. And see, I just happened to have, because that last time we did our live and I made those papers, I just had plain color on paper, plain color, this kind of stuff, and I just had plain color on there. Was able to just take it right off there, write on it, and it was perfect for this page. Love it. And all of us can do this. Every one of us. So cute. Thank you guys for your help with this page. I'm loving it. There we go. It's fun. It's a kind of a busy page, but it's certainly fun. And I don't mind busy sometimes. I think it's okay. If you don't like a busy page, when you get started, before you start gluing things on, if you've got a busy background, you can tone it down with a little bit of watered down gesso. You know, and the color will still show through, but it won't look quite as busy. But I'm actually loving this. I do. Okay, I do want to put an outline around these boxes. The only problem is I don't know if there's going to be glue in the way, so at least if it ruins a Sharpie, it's not as bad as ruining the more expensive pens, but that makes that stand out much better, so I'm liking that. And just scribbling around it makes it so fun. Thank you, Janet Baum. glad you love it. I'm loving it too. So much fun too. See how the things you don't plan, they're often some of the best things. They just come together. Love it. Fun, fun, fun. I kind of want a border, but I don't think I want to draw a border on this time. I think I just want to go around the edge and just to set off the page. So I'm just using a Pitt pen. Just to contain everything. Thanks everybody for joining me today for this impromptu live stream. I appreciate you hanging with me. And I hope you all have a good, whatever time of day it is for you. It's about time for my dinner, supper, whatever you call it where you are. Okay, how's that? That looks pretty good. Let me see if I can, I don't want to use this one though because I know it will write too thick. I'll try the thinner one. So I want the line in there, but I don't want it to be too thick. So I use the thin one. Because I can't do the edge. I actually have to draw this one right on the page. There. Perfect. That's what I wanted. There we go, guys. How fun is that? Thank you all for your help and the recommendations. And I'll put the date on here, and I'll mark that was created during a live stream. That way it'll be a good memory to have. Okay. I want to scribble this off, make sure I don't have glue on it before I quit, because I don't want it to kill the pen. All right, well, it's time for me to say goodbye. I hope you guys make some of these fun little collagey paper bits and have them ready for your own journals, and just doodle and play and have fun and make little marks. I mean, it's so simple when you break it down to the nitty-gritty. That's simple, making little marks with a marker, you know, and drawing little lines with a marker. So simple. And I think oftentimes we just make it more difficult than it needs to be, you know, because it really isn't difficult. So, yeah, thanks for joining me today. I had so much fun. Pleasant afternoon spent with you guys. Yes, everybody here is nice. Great group of people. So, yeah. Check out the links that Janet was kind enough to put in for us, and if you need some Sharpies sets or anything, I did put some in my Amazon store, and you know, grab some tissue paper and just play. It's fun. All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you again the next time. You know, I've got a video coming out in the next couple of days for Mixed Media Morsels Altered Card Play. So that's ready to go, and it'll be coming out soon. So those of you that are playing along with that little challenge, won't be long now. All right, take care, everybody, and thanks again for joining me today. I love visiting with y'all, and take care, be safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.